Okay, winter has arrived. It's all very depressing, but in this video I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for playing in the winter and utilising the winter in the best way to benefit your game for next season. So, number 5 is don't take winter golf too seriously. You're going to be playing off temporary tees. You're going to be playing off temporary greens. You're going to be playing shortened holes. Greens might be holotine, so they don't roll very well. And also, your golf course, like mine, might require you to hit off one of these all winter. None of this is ideal, so it's not worth taking your golf in winter too seriously. All we're trying to do is play as regularly as possible, keep the swing ticking over, and just enjoy spending some time on the golf course with your mates. Number 4, and this one is for playing in the winter, make sure you are wearing the right clothing. The minute you start to feel cold on the golf course, it becomes a completely miserable experience. So make sure you have the right clothing, nice and warm clothing. Look at thermal base layers. Look at warm pads that you can now get, heated pads to go inside your gloves. All of these things are available to make our winter day on the golf course, instead of it being incredibly cold and miserable, it can actually keep us nice and warm and make sure that we enjoy our day on the golf course, keeping our swing ticking over. Number 3 is, if you are thinking of changing your equipment for next season, now is the time to do it. Go and get yourself fitted up. Go and get yourself your new set of irons, your new wedges, your new driver, whatever it might be, because then you've got all of this time to get used to that equipment before pegging it up in your first competition in the spring. It makes no sense to peg it up in that competition with equipment that doesn't feel comfortable because you haven't been using it very long. So now is the time to go and change your equipment if that's what you're going to do. Number 2, and I think this is something that golfers don't think about enough. We've talked about how you can't really do any real constructive practice on the golf course in the winter because of the conditions. So for me, a far better way to spend these months is to get into the gym and get fitter and stronger for next season. It's something that I have completely committed to for the first time this winter. I'm not messing about. It's a full gym program for 6 months in the gym, and I am planning to come out next year fitter and stronger on the golf course than I've ever been before. I know that my fitness as a 52-year-old middle-aged, older, senior golfer, whatever you want to say, was holding me back because my fitness just wasn't good enough. This is a great opportunity. While we can't get on the golf course too much because of the dark nights, well, you can spend those dark nights in the gym and you can come out a whole different animal next season on the golf course. So we have arrived at number 1. My number 1 tip for utilising the winter in the best way is to sit down with a pen and paper or your iPad or your phone or your laptop, and I want you to absolutely evaluate your golf game from last season. I want you to go and write down all of your weaknesses and what stopped you from getting your handicap down further or doing better scores last year. You may be using an Arcos system or a shot tracking system which will highlight all this for you. Whatever you're using, identify those weaknesses and then come up with a plan for next spring when the courses start to get in better condition and the weather starts to improve, to start working on them weaknesses, so when you start next season you will be a far better player than you were last year, because your strengths will still be good, but you've improved your weaknesses and you will improve your handicap and improve your scores. This is a fundamental, important thing that must be done every winter, so you can then enable yourself to be the best golfer you can be each year. Okay, so there are my top 5 tips for playing winter golf and utilising these winter months in the best way to progress your game and improve. I do think that a lot of amateur golfers just look at these winter months as something we need to just get through and get to the spring and get to the competition starting next year, when actually you can use these months, you can utilise these months in the best way to actually really help and progress your game. So for me, the 2 big things for me this year are that I've done my evaluation on my game. I know exactly what my weaknesses are and I know what I need to really work work on the most going into next season. And also, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first time that I have decided to do a full campaign in the gym, getting fitter and stronger. I know that at 52 years old, I need to look after my body better, and I know also that it was something that was holding me back and letting me down last year. So I'm going to come out the gates next year. I know I'm going to be a lot fitter. I know I'm going to be a lot stronger, and I know that's going to help me on the golf course. So please, take a long, hard look at your game and just think about how you can utilise these months in the best way so you can come out and hit the ground running next season. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.